Welcome back to the 2-Minute Warning, back on the topic of the NFL. Stephon Gilmore, as you guys have heard from our other videos, we've done a couple on whether or not the Chargers should trade for him or the Rams, a couple other teams. So today I'm going to be looking at whether or not the Dallas Cowboys should pursue a trade for Stephon Gilmore. Still one of the top corners in the game, and I think if the Cowboys can land him for the right price, that they could become the immediate front runner for that NFC East division. And that leads me into the question of the day before we get into the video. Do you guys think that right now, with the current Cowboys roster, do you guys think that they can win the NFC East? I think that the Redskins have the Washington football team has a very fair chance. That great defensive front led by Chase Young. I think the Giants have done a great job in putting together a good team defensively and at offensive weapons, getting Saquon back. So I think the Giants are in the running, but the Cowboys also, I think, have the best offense in the division. So what do you guys think about whether or not the Cowboys can win the division? Comment below. But let's get right into the video. Should the Dallas Cowboys pursue a trade for Stephon Diggs? My quick answer is yes. The guy's a great corner. Like I said, if you think of top corners in the game, I guess the unanimous number one spot right now belongs to Jalen Ramsey, but Jair Alexander of the Packers is up there. I would say Stephon is probably right there in that top three as well. Maybe Denzel Ward and, I don't know, somebody else to make up my top five. I can't think of them right now. But I do think that Stephon is still at the top of the game as far as corners go. And the Cowboys should want him on the team. At 2019, he won Defensive Player of the Year, which is pretty rare for a cornerback. Very rare for a cornerback, I'll say. But he's just, like I said, he's 30 now, so he's definitely not old yet, but he's probably past his prime. So I think that the Cowboys can get him for a fair price from New England, and I think that that's what they should want to do. The Cowboys, really a team that I think should be winning the NFC East this year. I guess that doesn't really answer the question today whether or not they will, but I think they should be. They've paid all this money to Dak. They're the Cowboys. They haven't done anything big really in a long time. They've got Dak back there. He's going to be healthy. Zeke, I think, hopefully will have a good year. He's been so bad he was so bad last year. Surprisingly, I think I was talking to Jay about this the other day. Overall rushing yards, I think he was still ranked in the top 15, but overall production, not very good. Touchdowns low. The dude fumbled 6 times last year, so I'm expecting a bounce-back season from Zeke. Like I said, Dak will be back. Hopefully he stays healthy. And I think this Dallas team has a top 5 receiving core. It's a top receiving core in the league. I don't know who my top 5 would be. I haven't thought about it. But they're top receiving core in the league with Amari Cooper and Ceedee Lamb and Michael Gallup. And I just think that offensively, this Dallas team is right where you want it to be if you're a Dallas fan. And the defense is really not. They were one of the last ranked last year, and I think it showed in the draft that this Cowboys team is totally up for fixing that in any way that they can. Of course, they took Micah Parsons out of Penn State, linebacker out of Penn State, obviously with the 12th overall pick, their first round pick. But they took several other cornerbacks and linebackers in the draft this past April. Kelvin Joseph, a cornerback out of Kentucky, that was their 3rd rounder, and then they also took Chancey Golston, an edge rusher out of Iowa, and also Nashawn Wright, another cornerback out of Oregon State, and then at 115th overall, I'm just reading a list here who they picked. They took Jabril Cox, a linebacker at LSU. So it's evident that the Cowboys knew they have a defensive problem, and I'm glad to see that they did something to try to fix it, but I actually read something interesting the other day that the Cowboys have Stephon Diggs, his brother, as a cornerback, Trevon Diggs. I don't know if he's really any good, but I just found that interesting. But anyway, Cowboys defense, not very good. They got a lot of young guys coming in, but I still think a young defense is not going to be successful even if the players are good. If you look at the Bucs, who one of the best linebackers in the league, Devin White, he's a young guy. I think he's only in his, I think it was his 2nd year. He just won the Super Bowl as a 2nd-year guy. But he had a guy like Levante David who was in his 9th or 10th season to show him really how to play Tampa Bay football and how to play Super Bowl football, evidently. So that's what I think that this Dallas team needs is a veteran guy in the defensive secondary to show these young guys how it's done. And I think nobody better than that on the market right now than Stephon Gilmore. If you look at what the Patriots have done this offseason, put together a team just full of free agents. The list goes on, but the defensive side of the ball, they pick up Jalen Mills, they pick up Judon from Baltimore, they get Kyle Van Noy back from Miami after he played in New England for who knows couple years, 10 years. I don't know how long he's been with New England before that, but he was there for a while, I believe. And the list goes on about players, offensive guys like Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith and Nelson Aguilar. They draft Mac Jones. The Patriots team is full of either younger guys, like I just said, Mac Jones, or guys that they picked up on short-term free agency type deals. So what I think that's going to create for the Patriots is a situation in a couple years where they're losing a lot of guys to free agency at one time. I think Bill Belichick did this, or the Patriots did this in a chance to get maybe in a Super Bowl conversation as soon as this coming year, if Cam turns up as good enough to do that, or Mac Jones and the rest of the team clicks. So I do think in a couple years you'll have a lot of holes to fill that I think that trading Stephon Gilmore would be worth it, because you can get draft picks back from the Cowboys. What is it worth as far as what do the Cowboys realistically should they give up for Stephon Gilmore? I don't think he's worth a first rounder anymore. The conversation would be different a couple years ago when he was Defensive Player of the Year caliber, and not like he's gotten any better, but last year I don't think he played a whole lot. He was either hurt or he was not playing because of COVID, one of the two. So his draft stock, or his value has decreased a few or a little bit over the last couple of years. So he's not worth a first rounder in my mind anymore. But I think a second rounder, and I think he's worth a second rounder plus maybe a later draft pick, maybe a second and a fourth, or second and a fifth back to New England. That's what I think New England should receive, of course, and I think that would give them a great opportunity to pick up some guys to fill the holes that they're going to have in the next couple of years because of all these, like I said, short-term free agency contracts that they've just signed this year. But I have no doubt in Stephon Gilmore's talent, his ability to break up passes, and he's very good at tracking receivers there and locking them down. So I have no question about his talent. It's just a matter of where's he going to go. I know Tennessee is an option. Like I said, I know we did a video on the Chargers. We did a video with the Rams. Plenty of options for Stephon, of course. Who knows where he could go? He could go anywhere. But I think a great fit would be Dallas for him, because the Cowboys really need the defensive help and a veteran guy there in that secondary, and who else but Stephon to do that job. So ultimately, should the Cowboys trade for Stephon Gilmore? I think the answer is yes, if they can get him for the right price. I think if there's a team that the Patriots could get a lot for him, it would be the Cowboys, because the Cowboys really need that secondary help and a veteran presence. So if they're gonna want to get the most out of Gilmore, I think the Cowboys would be a great option for that. And if I'm the Cowboys, and it becomes a situation where they have to give up more than the average team would, I'm doing it. If I'm the Cowboys, I'll give up more. I don't know if I had a first rounder, that's a lot, but maybe I'll give a second and then a fourth and a fifth. I don't know. So if I'm the Cowboys, I'll give more than the next team would for Stephon Gilmore, because we need him that bad. Not we, as in I'm a Cowboys fan, but if I'm the Cowboys, we need him that bad to help in our secondary and provide a veteran presence for a lot of the younger guys that they're bringing in. So that's my ultimate verdict. Yes, the Cowboys should pursue a trade for Stephon Gilmore. And on the other way around, yes, I think the Patriots should look at the Cowboys, because they can get a lot out of them. That's my final decision. And as far as the question today, can the Cowboys win the NFC East? My answer is going to be yes. I think that their offense is good enough to outscore teams with not as good offensive, obviously, if they can outscore them. But I think that they can overcome some better defenses in the league. And when it comes down to it, I know the Giants have put together a great team on both sides of the ball, and that the Washington football team's defense is strong. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys. That offense, I think, is going to be enough to overpower teams, even if the Cowboys defense is not that good. Guys, that's all for the video. Thanks for watching. 2 Minute Warning.